FNAF fan games, I think they're great, personally, but they seem to take ages to develop.
Don't leave me here! My God!
I mean, I would know. I have tried, and I've worked on other FNAF type projects. I'm gonna try and make a FNAF game in a month. This is a part 1 of 2. The second part will be out when the game is done. So on day 1, I really just roughly planned it out. So I had an idea about making a game about making pizzas, and then you would feed them to an animatronic.
Yummy!
You know, so I kind of wrote down a list of things I would need to code, that being item pickups, holding items, using said items to put like toppings on pizzas, putting said pizzas into the oven, feeding them to the animatronic. In this case, it would be Freddy. And of course, there was other things, but that was just the focus in the beginning. So then on day 2, I programmed the office movement, and I made a little placeholder model for the kitchen area. Although I'm calling it office movement because, you know, it's that basic FNAF type movement where you're just looking around your little space. Then I started to create an animatronic base model, something that I could customize and add upon later, so I wouldn't need to go through all the steps again. On day 3, I had actually no idea what I did because I'm looking at my notes right now and I didn't write down anything for this day. I assumed I created the Freddy model because then on day 4, I textured and sculpted in a few more details. On day 5, I created an item system, and it works because I created an
enum, which is, an enum is basically just a list of different numbers assigned to them. And then I would have a variable to hold the current item of the player. And then of course I also made it so you could click on the item on the counter and you would actually pick it up, and it would set the variable to the corresponding item using the enum. Yeah, but the items were just kind of cubes and cylinders because they didn't have any models made yet.
Oh, also I added Freddy into the game, but he was just chilling at that point. Then on day 6, I tried to add some orders into the game, but I kind of changed it up a little bit in my mind. I just thought, you know, it could be cool if the orders would sort of stack up and you could see the different orders, and then they'd all have their each little bar ticking down of how long they had left, or how long the player had left to do them. Freddy ordered a single pizza, one at a time. It doesn't make much sense for him to order multiple orders, but I think I was kind of thinking of maybe Freddy would take it to customers or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I couldn't do it. I tried and tried for multiple days. I couldn't get it working. I mean, I kind of did, but it was so glitchy. It was a good lesson to stick to the plan. You know, I tried of doing it the other way of the original, and you know, and it worked 100 times better, and it just seemed like it would be more fun. I think that was just too confusing anyway. And because I was working on that for so long, now on day 3 of week 2, I added the pizza base, and I adding ingredients to the pizza. Wow, that was a real mouthful. At this point, adding ingredients to the pizza was way too confusing when I would pick up the cube, and then there was another cube and a cylinder and a triangle, and I had no idea what those ingredients were originally were. Especially because when you put the ingredients on the pizza just changes to a flat color, because I hadn't done those textures, and I still haven't done the textures for pizza, so it just changes color. So then I created the item models and textures. I added them into the game, as well as altering the kitchen model to have like a little indent to where like the oven would be. I was kind of thinking of those wood fire ovens, but then I ended up just giving it like a handle door anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I think this is where I got kind of serious, because before I would do 2 or 3 things a day, but today I programmed holding pizzas, programmed putting the pizzas in the oven, programmed getting the pizzas out of the oven, programmed baking the pizza, programmed giving Freddy the pizza, programmed pizzas resetting after you gave them to him, added downtime because you won't always be dealing with Freddy. There might be another animatronic that you might have to deal with, like Bonnie or Foxy or whoever I may add. in the future. Next, I added Freddy's jump scare. I think I did a really good job on. Made it so you could also go to 6 a.m. as well. On day 6 of week 2, I went to model and animate Chica. Textured, got that all looking good. And when I went to go create the animations, since I'd already lined up Freddy in Godot, I just wanted to place a little marker so I could line up all future jump scare animations so their faces would end up in the same position, which would make it easier for me in Godot. So, which means I had to go into the Freddy file, place a little marker by the animation, which is convenient because one of the animations weren't working properly, so I could go and tweak that up as well. Needed to be fixed. There's no way I could have left the animation anyway. So then I go into my Freddy file and the jump scare animation was just missing. I have no idea where it went, but it was just gone. Well, I know now where it went. So then I remade the animation. It wasn't as good as the first time, but I was kind of angry. I wasn't feeling it. Then I re-imported the Freddy file, did the marker, and I realized I'd forgotten to fix that other animation, so let me just go back into Blender and go fix it. And it had disappeared for a second time. So in frustration, I jumped out of my chair and then I slammed my knee on my desk, so that was it for that day. But the next day I came back, with my sore knee, and I remade the jump scare animation. Actually, I liked it a lot this time. It was more like the first animation. Found out how to make Blender actually save my animation, not delete it. And yeah, that was about it. Pretty much where I am right now. Now about 80% of the game's main features are complete, but they're in a rough state. They are visually unpolished, even though the base mechanics of it. Things like the ketchup bottle. If you pick it up, it turns into a cylinder because in the player item view, it's like I haven't updated that yet. Things like actually textures on the pizza and opening and closing of an oven door, putting textures on the office and not the office, the kitchen. So yeah, maybe 2 more weeks at the minimum. Might take more. That's at the minimum. So, but I don't want this to be a 3-parter video, so you'll have to wait a bit till the next one. Oh, there's a plane flying over. Yeah, as I was saying, I don't want this to be a 3-parter video, so you'll have to wait a bit till the next one. In the meantime, you can check out the Game Jolt page. I think I would have done it by the time this video will come out. So there should be a link in the description. Anyway, see ya.